The first thing you want to use on an M39 EMR is the T4 Thermal 2.5X sight, because for the most part you're going to want to use this weapon at medium ranges, and the thermal is also really good for helping control the recoil, which this weapon, after they had decided to add the visual recoil to the game, like the serious visual recoil to the game, has made this weapon very hard to use as far as the controlling the recoil is concerned, especially visual recoil. So yeah, T4 thermal is going to help you out a little bit with that sort of thing. But of course, if you don't like thermals, then I would highly suggest using the Ghost Hybrid 1.54X in this slot instead, and just use this as your primary. That is if you don't like using thermals. Now I think about it, probably the T42X will also be a good alternative to the thermal sights. But yeah, anyways, in the second slot we have the Fusion Harlow in case we needed to use this weapon in closer ranges, which for a DMR this is I mean, it can be good in close range gunfights, but I feel like the DPS on this weapon is not the best in my opinion. But if people are throwing smoke grenades and you're stuck with a thermal scope, then yeah, you can switch to this real quick. Fusion Hall is also the best sight by default for most weapons in this game, and is no exception on the M39 EMR. And Fusion Halls actually makes controlling the recoil on this weapon a lot easier than even the T4 thermal, but of course you're not going to have as much magnification when you're zoomed in or aimed in ADS. And then in the third slot we have the M11 sniper scope, because yeah, if people are at long ranges, you can use the thing as like a sniper rifle and try to pick people that are off at far or long ranges, But of course, again, I did mention this before, but yeah, the Ghost Hybrid. This is also a great sight to run in the third slot if you don't like, if the recoil is too much, because again, this weapon does have quite a bit of recoil if you haven't used it already, and using a 6x sniper scope might not be the best bet unless you shoot slow with it. You can't be spamming the trigger if you're using the M11 6x sniper scope. But yeah, like I said, great alternative is again this Ghost Hybrid 1.4x, 1.5, 1.4x, whatever, if you don't like the sniper scope for longer range gunfights. And then in the first barrel slot we have the tactical compensator to increase the accuracy as much as possible. Yes, I know it does increase the recoil even more than it already is. The recoil is already pretty bad on this weapon, but I feel like this weapon does need accuracy, honestly, because for whatever reason, even with tactical compensator on, the spray is pretty bad on this weapon. I gotta be honest. If you try to spray the trigger with this weapon, it can spray all over the place sometimes, and the tactical compensator is going to help reduce that slightly. Or I say slightly. I don't know how much, but it will definitely make it a lot easier to spam the trigger at the cost of less recoil control. And yeah, we like our weapons to be as accurate as possible. We like to decrease that bloom as much as possible. But if you don't like tactical compensator, then yeah, just stick with the default muzzle. That's also a great alternative if you can't control the recoil. And then, as you can tell in the second slot, we have a rapid suppressor. I gotta be honest, you're probably never going to need to use this thing, to be honest, because I mean, this is really only viable if you're using a weapon in close quarters, and this is let's just say this weapon's way better at medium range gunfights than long range or close range gunfights. I would rather just switch to my Deagle or my BFP 50 than use this in close quarters. But if you guys were to do that, then switch this rapid suppressor to stay off the minimap to people that are 30 meters or more away. It'll help with flanking too if you do that sort of thing. And then for the first and only underbarrel attachment, we have the BCG light grip, because we like to increase our ADS accuracy as much as possible. Like I said, this weapon does have quite a bit of bloom, even with the BCG light grip and the tactical compensator together. But it would be even worse if you didn't have the BCG light grip. And I would highly recommend, if you're using the factory barrel, is that what it's called? No, default muzzle. They call it different names in this game. I don't know. Default muzzle, then you're definitely going to need to run the BCG light grip on the underbarrel to help increase your accuracy as much as possible. But yeah, I wouldn't bother using any of these other sights or any of these other underbarrels besides the BCG light grip. And then in the first magazine slot, we're just going to run standard issue extended mag for the most amount of ammo per magazine. You get 28 bullets per magazine with this, and I think it's 3 mags, so 28 plus 56. That would be 74 bullets. You get 74 bullets with this, so yes, definitely a very good to run the standard issue extended mag with this weapon, because it's got way more reserve ammo than most other weapons in this game, including with the 28 bullets per magazine, which is a lot for a DMR. for a semi-auto DMR anyways. And then the second slot, we just have the regular standard issue magazine in case you somehow run out of ammo, which you probably won't ever have to worry about that. Most of us won't, honestly. We'll probably, you know, down before we even have to switch ammo types, to be honest. But if you are on a streak somehow and are, you know, doing your thing somehow, then yeah, have the standard issue magazine slot in the second slot for even more backup ammo in case you need it. And yeah, it's 20 bullets, which is also pretty good magazine size for a tactical rifle DMR, whatever you want to call it. And then if that's not enough ammo, then you could also run the standard issue underloaded magazine in the third slot for backup ammo. And despite what it says, having better reload speed actually while moving and deploy speed, it's like pixels. Like you're making like a milliseconds of difference. So yeah. Standard issue unloaded magazine, like with most weapons in this game, is completely and utterly useless on this weapon unless you run out of ammo with everything else that you've got. So yeah, it's great to have that in the third slot for whatever reason. In my opinion, it's honestly just great just to have it there, just so I can be like, oh hey, you know, I got 3 slots filled up with something, right? Wow. Anyways, that's all I was going to do over this part of the video. If you guys would not mind, please make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And stay tuned for Battlefield 6 gameplay once that drops, and also stay tuned for gameplay with this weapon. So yeah. Stay tuned.
We're taking losses! Enemy down! Reloading! One down! Need to reload! No, stay away! Target eliminated! Hold on, reloading! That's one down! One down!
The resources are at 50%.
Tango down! Hold on, reloading! Enemy down!
They've nearly exhausted their resources.
That's one down! Approaching storm, stay alert! Threat eliminated! Fire! Hostile neutralized!
She's pissing me off.
Attacked an enemy! That's one down! Target eliminated!
Dude, like, people's obsession with smoke grenades in this game is quite infuriating. Like, they'll freaking use smoke grenades, but they'll never freaking use it for what it's due. They'll never throw it when you need to revive, or when you need to push the objective. They'll just freaking throw it on top of their own freaking team for no reason other than, like, yes, smoke assist or whatever. Like, it's just so stupid to me.
Enemy down!
Like, my goodness, dude.
Tango down!
Now engaging Charlie 1.
I'm out! Reloading!
Sorry, this freaking. They keep flanking us on both sides. Like, I'm so. This guy's done. What are you looking at, my dude? There ain't nobody there. Oh my goodness, dude.
Sector is secure.
Hostile neutralized!
Like, these dudes are more concerned about freaking killing us over here than they are playing the objective. It's actually insane to me. It's insane, bro. Like,